Oh, baby. Always good doing the hangover after a dub. You know, always good. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the DNVR show. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Presented by Bet365 Never Ordinary. We have ourselves a great show today. Why? Because the Denver Nuggets won in blowout fashion. Blowout fashion, you say? Yes. Blowout
I would
fashion.
constitute that as a blowout.
Yeah, dude, and it's sadly not ordinary.
Not ordinary. But it's fun when the Nuggets get a blowout and so many things go well. Project Dynasty just keeps eating away, man. Just keeps going. We're going to talk all about that, give our hangover takes. But our top story, superstar Nikola Jokic?
Wow.
You guys, I don't know.
What happened? Did he win the NBA title and the MVP and the
actually,
NBA
now
MVP
he can be the face of the league.
Oh.
Is he becoming the
can
face of the league? We're going to have to ask that question. That's a question everybody's wanting answered right now. And then later on in the show, we're going to talk about Reggie's Sixth Man of the Year case. Last night, Aaron Gordon went up to the podium and said, he deserves it. Why is nobody talking about it? Well, let's talk about it.
Was he talking to us?
Is anybody really talking about Sixth Man of the Year right now?
Why is nobody talking about it? Because nobody talks about that award. Because it just shows up and people are like, oh, okay.
Because there's only one end of season award that can be talked about at any moment during the year.
And it has to be talked at from the first moment to the very last moment. Also, later in the show, man, the Timberwolves got a win last night that I think warrants us saying, you know what? I'm bumping them up in my power rankings.
Okay.
They deserve it. They're going up a tier. To help me talk about all of those things, D-Line is in the house.
What up, guys? Ready to do this? Hangover takes are
This
ready
smell
to be
like
delivered.
gas?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, well, let's
Nice.
keep going.
Nice.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean, I got bumped.
Sorry, that was an important, I feel like.
It actually, just a point of clarification, does not smell like gas.
You don't think it smells like, do you smell it?
I can't really smell.
I'm left to be the detector over here.
It's up to you.
All right. Also on the show, Harrison wins.
I think I'm the only one in the world who has not yet seen the commercial.
Oh, man.
So I will be reacting to it live on this show.
Then the rule is that if you are moved by the commercial, you have to immediately purchase the service or good that's being advertised.
Yeah, we'll see how well the advertisement works.
Yeah,
right.
we'll find out live on
We'll
air.
see how good the commercial is on me.
All right. We'll get to the commercial here in a moment. You're going to have to hold your horses, so to speak.
Fine.
So good. It's so great, man.
But we should talk
Don't
about
put
our...
the cart before the horse.
Oh,
man.
man.
We don't have... You got one? You want to join the fold here?
No.
No? Come on. But first, the Nuggets get a blowout win, 103-104 against the Dallas Mavericks. This was despite Luka Doncic going for 28 first-half points. The Nuggets still pull away, and it was also despite Jokic going for just 8 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Michael Malone called it a triple single, which we've referred to before. Katie Wingy couldn't contain herself in laughter. It was actually the funniest thing how hard she went bit for that one. Malone, she bit so hard that Malone just ended the press conference.
He's
Really?
like-
He was mid-sentence. He goes, Nikola tonight, and to get a win when he goes for a triple single, and she starts laughing so hard, and Malone just goes, all right.
So, a lot of times in media, you put on a fake media laugh.
No, this one was a belly.
When a coach or player tries to make a joke, it's a fake media laugh, but this was a real one.
Katie, she was going off,
Okay.
man. She really was tickled by that one.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you can be so blasé, you get worn down by the day-to-day. Then the joy of watching somebody enjoy a real joke about a triple single, it brings you back.
Laughter is contagious, man. My wife
I love
can't
it.
watch anybody laugh. She loses it. But I laugh. Yeah, this was pretty great. Hangover takes, though. Do you guys have a chance to digest this one a little bit? But I'll give you mine. I wasn't on the show.
You go first, yeah.
So I'll go a little
you
bit first. There's our graphic. And I put this in. We've been doing takeaway shorts from the arena. I highly recommend you making that part of your flow, watching, catching up on those the day after. But I put this one out there, but I want us to go in detail. Jamal Murray at the podium last night said, it's great for the young guys. When we're all healthy, they see what our starting unit is like, and they see the way we play. And when they're on the bench, they kind of take from us because they're just learning from watching us, and then they go out there and try to copy it. That's what last night was. Everybody healthy. Starters did their job, dominated. And the bench, game by game, continues to get better and better. And Reggie going back to it clearly, having all of the pieces there makes for a rotation that makes sense. But not even just that, man. The rapid growth of Peyton Watson and Julian Strawther is so incredible to watch. Both of those guys are really good players that are over that initial hump. I'm not saying they're out of the woods, but they're over the initial hump where everything is happening so fast and the head is spinning and there's no confidence. Now the game just kind of comes to them and they make good plays or bad plays, but you could just tell it's like natural. They're playing basketball now, both of those guys. And last night, that to me was the big standout. They won in dominant fashion, but it was the way all the Nuggets are good. That was one of the first all the Nuggets are good games we've had all year.
Yeah, I mean, going into every game right now, Peyton Watson is the guy I'm most looking forward to watching.
Same.
Every single night. You know, I love watching Nikola Jokic. I love watching the starters work, but I am so looking forward to watching Peyton Watson every game because of the rapid growth. You compared him to an AI a couple days ago.
Right.
Where you just said it, and then you come back and you're like, oh my God, like, he's learned this and this and this. And
oh, I thought it meant Allen Iverson. I forgot the
No,
dystopian nature of our conversations. Is that Adam loves AI. Anyway, go ahead. Keep going.
I just am getting on their good side before they take over. They're going to come back and read this, and they're going to hate you. They're going to like me.
And you're accelerating it.
Peyton Watson might be taking over because he is getting better by the minute, it feels like. By the game.
By the game, man, for sure.
He's rapidly growing as a player in like every facet of his game. I feel like he's becoming a better defender by the game and a better offensive player. And it's the most exciting thing going on with the Nuggets right now, I think. Peyton Watson and just what he can grow into over the course of the season because, I mean, it feels like you can't put a ceiling on it right now.
Yeah, I mean, truly. And the same can be said for Julian Strawther. It's like we started off, we're like, oh, God, are we going to do the 2 timeline thing? The Warriors proved out that what a catastrophic direction that can be. But, man, like it feels like the 2 timelines are converging like already this early in the season. It's not really about like can they function as their own like entity, like how are they going to, it's just like the Nuggets are being made more codified by just the fact that they have like all of these, they just have a bunch of players, man. Like this front office just keeps filling the tank with good NBA talent and like good people and guys that you want to root for. And it's like, it's awesome. It's awesome to watch when, especially allowing your top guys to just sort of like coast through the night. Like that's great. We know we're not the Los Angeles Lakers. So we know that the biggest moment of the season hasn't already happened at the in the in-season tournament. Like we actually have big goals. We are in the middle of a dynastical project, as some would say. And like, it's the fact that so many of the off-season questions are already starting to be answered. Like, can there be a replacement for Bruce Brown? Like, what is this going to look like past the top 5? And I mean, obviously, it hasn't been fully answered, but it's like, it's cool that there are still so many things, so many questions to be answered for a team that's this good.
Right.
It's like keeps you interested.
Let's go stay on Peyton Watson because I'm with you, Win, that he's the thing I'm most excited about. And a lot of that is just the newness, right? Like when you walk out, oftentimes, almost all the times, the best thing of the game is actually Jokic, but like going into it, you're excited about new. And Peyton right now is just doing new. And one of the things he's doing new is taking threes. Yeah. He's taken a pair of threes.
Be new. Let's go.
He's taken a pair of threes in each of the last 3 games, or he's made a pair of threes in each of the last 3 games, a homestand. And, this is one of those things where it's like the up and down nature of the NBA, especially for young players, it's hard to catch a rhythm. So when you get even just a 3-game homestand, as short as that is, it does provide for a little bit of continuity in your life and in your routine and in everything else. And let me give you the numbers, you guys. Over this 3-game homestand, Peyton Watson is playing 21 and a half minutes, 13.7 points, 6 rebounds, 2.7 assists. So rounding up, 14, 6, and 3. That's
wild.
Aaron Gordon numbers.
That's wild.
That's Aaron Gordon averages is 14, 6, and 3. And Peyton Watson just did that over a homestand. And by the way, 65% from the field, 60% from 3, 55% from the foul line. So need to make his free throw, although he only took a handful. But nonetheless, that's really a really good 3-game stretch. And to me, the question I'll ask now, D-Line, do you feel that Peyton Watson, Julian Strawther, and I'll lump in Zeke Naji and Christian Brown because all those guys make up. I'll just lump them all in because that's who we kind of counted on to be this group. Are they behind schedule, on schedule, or ahead of schedule, in your opinion, December the 19th?
They're way ahead of schedule, I think.
Way ahead.
I think, like, this was going to be the question that we had to answer the entire season.
Yeah.
How is this going to look? Like, how do we replace Bruce Brown? What do we do? Like, that's every segment talking about the Nuggets or anybody that was looking to detract from what the Nuggets are and what they are going to be moving forward. It was like, well, they lost Bruce Brown, so obviously, that's going to blah, blah, blah. They're way ahead of schedule. Like, I didn't expect Peyton Watson to be like we all expected him to show his defensive prowess, but the fact that he is doing something offensively, that's way ahead of schedule as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they're way ahead of schedule. Or I don't know if way ahead of schedule. They're definitely ahead of schedule. Definitely. I thought Peyton Watson would be doing this maybe in February or March, not in December.
3 games in a row because you thought maybe you would see it. All right, don't see it for a while. See it, and then maybe at the end of the year you see it every other game or something. 3 games in a row is meaningful.
It feels like it's just 3 games, and I'm sure he'll have bad games sometime, over the course of the rest of the season. But it kind of feels like he's gotten over a little bit of a hump where, like, there's a standard that he's going to play to now. And he might not dip below that often. And I just didn't think he'd get there that soon. Julian Strawther, obviously way ahead of schedule.
We didn't think he'd be playing.
Right.
No.
If somebody gets injured, then he plays, but not regular
Julian
minutes.
Strawther, like, locked into the rotation middle of December? That's way ahead of schedule. Way ahead.
I'm gonna with Wind, meaning I think he is. I think they are ahead of schedule. Not even slightly, but definitely not way ahead. I think they are ahead of schedule. Consistency, like there's more. If the playoffs started today, I don't have confidence in Julian Strawther and Peyton Watson because I just think that's a lot of pressure to put them into. There's like questions ahead, situations they have to be thrown into that they are not quite into, and then. As much as we're talking about how well Peyton Watson has played these last 3 games, the games before that, the like 4 or 5 games before that, only one of them was good. So there is still a little bit of ups and downs, but to me, it's the curve. If you just plotted every game of Peyton's season so far, it's very clear that we're at the curve part. Like it's climbed slowly, and now it's at the like steep part, and he's making plays off the bounce that I'm excited about. He's making plays off ball that I'm excited about, and his defense is now. One of my favorite things, Harrison, you keep talking about, you get excited to watch him. One of my favorite things about watching him right now is all the good players ISO him to start the game and go away from it. But then they're like, okay, this isn't uneasy. Because they don't know who he is or they know him, but they're like, all right, this is a young guy. And they'll try him out, and almost every time they're like, this is not worth the effort. Well, we just got to run offense now. And I just love seeing that because it's like, yeah, man, he is a legitimately tough. Like, he's a legitimate challenge for most offensive players to try to score against an ISO.
And just think about all the guys he's gone up against over this last month, You go back to the Phoenix game.
Yeah.
Durant, De'Aaron Fox, Kawhi. Like, that 3-game stretch was kind of the first one. Like, that was kind of his little coming out party, and this was his real coming out party, this 3-game stretch. But just having success against those guys, that's given him a ton of confidence, I feel like.
Yeah.
And that confidence and rhythm has carried over to other parts of his game. That's why I think he's shooting the ball well right now.
Yeah.
He's just confident. He's in rhythm. He's playing the same kind of minutes every night. Like, he knows what he's doing out there. He's playing with the same lineup now.
Right.
So I think just all of this has stemmed from confidence and the rhythm he's in.
Yeah. And for me, like, the reason I think they are way ahead is because typically this part of the season is like trying to figure out who's going to be the bench unit.
Right.
Like it's so much about like just tinkering. This guy, you're in this night. You're out like looking for the lineup, and like not only does it appear as though they have settled upon what a bench unit looks like, they are now into the part where, like Harrison said, they're getting confidence. They are working on the actual game, just rather than worrying about whether or not they're going to be a part of it.
And Zeke Naji deserves a shout out. Like, he's the one guy that you would say is behind schedule. But here's my thing with Zeke, man. I said this yesterday. This is not like, oh, he had one good game and now I'm saying this. I've been saying this. People have swung too far on him. He's been bad. He's been really bad. He was actually really good to start the year before before Murray got hurt. He was off to a good start. And then he was so bad when things went south. He was worse even than Peyton and Julian and everybody else that hit a rough patch. But he's a good player, and he does certain things very well. Like, his skill set's too narrow right now. He needs to like be more consistent and reliable as a rebounder. You know, he needs to make impacts, you know, in different parts. But that was a really good game from him, albeit against a shorthanded second unit for Dallas. But that was a really good stretch for him, or game for him. And I hope he's able to string together a few more opportunities, because the Nuggets, say what you will about them, everybody like immediately wants to go to the trade. They should trade for this guy. They should pick up this guy. Trading costs. There's no, we'll give our garbage and then we take something in. The best outcome for the Nuggets is that Zeke is good and that they don't have to give anything up because he's already on the roster. And this early portion was just a sort of getting his footing, and that we get more of what we got last night. That's far and away the best outcome for the Nuggets. And I just think it's more on the table. Like, I still would probably bet against it personally. But to me, it's more of like a 60-40 proposition, not like a, this ain't going to work. It's terrible. Like, there's something to Zeke, and we saw it last night.
No, he was great last night. And I like how you went back to the beginning of the season, because a lot of people forget the bench was good at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
When everybody was healthy.
Sure was.
Then when Jamal Murray got hurt, it got bad. Then now that Jamal Murray is back, the bench is good again.
Yeah.
The Nuggets bench is going to be good if Denver is fully healthy. If they have their full complement of players, if they have their starting five, and if they can go to the rotation that they've been going to off the bench these last couple of games. You know what my favorite lineup is right now? Reggie Jackson, Christian Brown, Julian Strawther, Peyton Watson, and then Zeke Naji or DeAndre Jordan. I love that lineup. That's
your favorite lineup?
That's my favorite lineup to watch right now.
All right.
Peyton Watson's my favorite guy to watch right now.
It's very
That's
fun.
my favorite lineup. That, you know, from the 5-minute mark to the 2-minute mark of the first quarter, is when Jokic is still on the floor with those guys as well. I love watching that. But yeah, I think the bench is going to be good from here on out as long as they stay healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Zeke is like such an interesting case, because the problem, in my view, with Zeke is that it's just the situation has to be perfect for him.
Yep.
And if it
That's
is
why I mean
perfect,
it's too narrow. Yeah.
if it is perfect, then you see what he had. Like, he's a hard worker. He has a very high motor. He's a big effort guy, and like he can outwork guys, and he can, you know, he's switchable 1 through 5.
And that's a likable trait, by the way.
Absolutely.
Outworking guys. Like, this is why he should be a guy you root for, because of how hard he plays.
Exactly.
Right now, everybody hates him, and it's like,
exactly.
All right, we'll see. All right, let's take a break. That's my hangover takes. On the other side, it's commercial time.
Oh, baby. That finally, after we get through these ads, then we can get to the commercial.
Hell yeah.
Bet365, never ordinary. Use code DNVR365 at sign up. When you do that and you sign up for Bet365, you can take advantage of 2 offers that they got going right now. A first bet safety net offer, or you can bet and place $5 or more on an NBA game, get $150 in bonus bets. So sign up for the Bet365 app with the code DNVR365. You can bet on your own. You can bet with us on the pregame show. You can bet with us live on the watch-alongs too. It's where we go for our betting, so you should go there as well. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
I love the physically located. Like, I'm emotionally located in Colorado.
Yeah. Where are you emotionally located? You know what?
If I would
answer
say,
that.
no, Rocky Mountain National Park.
I would say that you're just not emotionally located.
That's actually it. You know what? You nailed it. You nailed it. Emotionally not present.
Emotionally dissociated.
Guys, if you're hungry, if you're feeling a sandwich,
Oh, man.
Primo
What time is it?
Hoagies is your spot.
Bro, I ordered it on DoorDash the other day. I was like, you know what?
Did you really?
Treat myself to a Primo.
Man,
What'd you get?
You got the
One
cheesesteak.
old world meatball.
What?
Listen, man, there's like 100 things on the menu. I can't get one thing one time and lock in. That's what I generally do with every other restaurant.
You went meatball sandwich.
What's wrong with a meatball sandwich? What could be better? The old world meatball? An East Coast slant on a meatball sub?
I'm
That's
guessing it was good.
it was incredible.
How was the seeded roll?
It was incredible.
I guess there's actually not many toppings on a
Yeah,
meatball sub.
that's the greatest thing is that when you're talking about meatball sub and people ask you about the toppings, you're like, meatball.
Just give me the meatballs.
Yes.
Primo Hoagies has locations in both Denver and Centennial. You can order your party trays in advance and online at primohoagies.com. Use code DNVR for $2 off a Primo-sized hoagie when ordering online. It's not just a hoagie, it's a Primo.
Alrighty, we are back. Segment 2. Guys, Jokic appeared in a brand new ad. Is he? First of all, I got to
For my new favorite company.
Nikola Jokic won 2 MVPs.
Sure. I remember
Then
that.
he won an NBA championship and a finals MVP.
Familiar with both those?
And many people were wondering, is he the new face of the league?
Not yet.
But then this happened.
You sure this is cool?
Hey, little guy.
Relax, this place is pet friendly. What's funny?
You know, 2 guys and a horse walk into a hotel.
This is a pony.
Harrison has not seen these. He's reacting live.
Harrison, your thoughts?
It wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
What did you think it was going to be?
I don't know. I thought it was going to be funnier. Not going to lie.
I thought it was extremely charming.
It was very charming. It was very charming.
It's only one of 2.
Well, hold on. Whatever.
You can tell he's fed a horse before. That was just
does have-
Horseman.
expert form.
It was form. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's a great take because I would have done the finger.
the underhand palm open,
underhand,
elite form. I love the Eastern European sweatsuit.
Dude, the tracksuit is incredible.
That's perfect.
Incredible that they went tracksuit.
Yeah. And Peyton Watson being the co-star is an interesting development.
Very interesting.
Dude, co-star?
Maybe star actually. This
Yeah.
is like when they gave Penny Hardaway Little Penny because Penny needed somebody to be the voice,
Yeah.
Peyton Watson, 10 out of 10 charisma. Good looking,
Oh,
very well acted,
okay.
I thought, from
Male
Peyton
form
Watson.
corner is back.
And, great smile.
Dude,
I feel like they put him there.
Peyton Watson looks like he's filmed 1,000 commercials.
I thought he 100%
He's a
does.
natural.
He is a natural.
He is. He's a vet in every... He's an old soul.
Also,
Lot of composure.
I'm telling you guys,
Yeah, dude.
there's a little Peyton Yoke.
Peyton
thing, you know what I
composure?
mean? There's
Peyton
a Peyton-
composure?
Do the things nobody else wants to do.
Star in a hotel.com commercial.
Yeah, this is apparently one of those.
Peyton Watson, man, I know this is silly to say. He does have an it factor. He's
I know.
not, we can't be talking about Peyton Watson this way to you. We're getting the cart before the horse here. But he kind of has this charisma where you're like, if he becomes good enough to be a star, he will be a star because he's so damn
Dude,
likable.
I'll tell you one thing. I am 100% going to use hotels.com next time I book a hotel. Yeah, you could
Yeah,
mark
this
that down.
advertisement
We gotta
worked.
make hotels.com the greatest
Oh,
website.
I know,
It's
we
so
need to
true.
we have to reward them tenfold for their
Yeah.
faith in our Serbian
I
king.
kind of feel like they might, it kind of went viral.
I might
People
stay in a
like-
hotel tonight.
One
I don't
thing,
need a-
one thing you didn't mention there, Harrison, Jokic, in prep for the shoot, did not shave.
I know.
I'm trying to think when this was filmed.
I don't know.
Was it
It was a while back.
Before the season.
training camp?
Yeah, it was before the season. Yeah. All right, Kale, play the number 2.
You know, Peyton, seats at the hotel pool are a lot like seats in a game. We have VIPs, we have fair weather fans, and the bench.
Well, who sits on the bench?
Not me.
Okay, that one's way better. I liked them both, but that one was better.
You know what we get in that one? Toodles. We
Toodles.
get a little Toodles.
Yeah. Also,
break it
he
down.
called him Peyton, which I doubt he's ever called him in his life.
What do you think he calls him?
P-Watt?
You think Yoke calls him? No, he always says Peyton.
P-Watt.
He always
He
says
does?
Peyton. Yeah, like when he refers to him.
Hey, brother.
He says Peyton.
P-Watt.
And I mean, in that one, like, Yoke looked really Eastern European with the sunglasses on, too.
Yeah.
With the 5 o'clock shadow.
Oh, that was like a 10 o'clock shadow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good.
I love that there's a pool, even though I don't think it was intentional or anything. You know, Yoke at the pool. We now know.
Was it not? I don't know.
I also like in the first one, Peyton is a little more, you know, the voice. This one, Yoke is the leading actor. He
know.
sets it up. He delivers the lines perfectly, awkwardly. You know,
But
like,
also, it's a great acting job by P-Watt.
he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Reaction.
He delivered his lines well. Really, really bought into the role.
Scale of 1 to 10. How are you rating this commercial?
I'd give it 8.5.
Wow. 8.5. That's like the Noid or something. That's hallowed ground for a commercial.
The Noid?
Yeah, that's an 80s reference from Domino's Pizza. What
would you give it?
I probably similar. That's good. It's like, I mean, I'm grading it on the Jokic scale,
Yeah,
so
of course.
everything he does gets bumped up.
Yeah.
Like his shoes are like, the shoes he wears are like some of the objectively ugliest shoes I've ever seen, but I will buy any pair that I see in front of me.
Let's check out these outtakes, though. The outtakes are almost just as good.
You know, Peyton. Give me a second. Give me a second. This is I need to get into the acting character. Pool are the same as a hotel. Mater. I don't want to translate that. I forgot my line. I don't like messing. He's eating my finger. Look at him. But horse is watching too. I don't like horsing around.
Got it there. I think Yoke just wanted to hang out with the horse.
Just hang out with the little
I
horse.
can't believe how much more I want to hang out with Jokic now than I did before, which was already an uncomfortable, bordering on illegal level.
He said the same about you.
What? He did?
No, not really. Honest question, though, here. That was a great commercial. It's kind of gone viral today. You know, everybody's talking about it. Yoke, I think that comes off really well. And then we've seen some of these metrics about like social media. Who are people looking out? Jersey sales. Who are people buying? Television ratings. Who are people watching? Yoke higher in all of this than people realize. D-Line, you're the branding guy. We've wondered why doesn't Jokic do more? And I think it's a little twofold. Some of this, you know, I think everybody just defaults to, well, he doesn't want to. I think that's a little BS because Jokic talked openly about how brands are more attractive when I start dressing nice. You know, like, I think he's more open to this. Do you think this is the first of many endorsements to come and Jokic might be on the scene now?
I think Jokic is on the scene now. I think a lot of things get filmed in the off season and he leaves the second he's able to. So it's
That's a big
like
part of it, yeah.
a little bit difficult to get his time to film
Yeah.
stuff. So I think that honestly is probably most of what it is that just Jokic is not available. But I mean, listen, like this, you see someone in a different light and they are in a different light. Like this is for a lot of people, like
So
I'm
true.
sure seeing, I think that there is a large perception of Jokic in general that like he doesn't talk much, that he, you know, like people think that they know him as the Joker, but they don't know he's like a little jokey, but like,
They think he has no personality and like has no presence. Like if you do a commercial, it's going to
Exactly.
be boring AF.
Exactly. And so like to see it now, you're like, that actually is really funny and charming and cool.
Yeah.
Like that he doesn't come off as like an NBA player. Like he doesn't have that like NBA, like Anthony Edwards new commercial. Like that's like an NBA guy commercial.
Yeah.
And like this is just like a charming thing that actually can appeal probably to a way wider audience.
Maybe.
Yeah. No, he's on the scene for sure. I mean, he's doing a Curious Mike podcast. That's how on the scene he is now.
That to me, actually, the Curious Mike appearance that he is allegedly set to do, to me, this is like the best teammate move he's ever had.
I know.
There's no way he was like, yeah, man, that'll be great. Let's talk. Like,
I know.
He was like,
Brother.
Mike, for you, this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to come on the show.
He's like, Mike, you have one favor you could ask me this year.
Yeah.
This is it. This is my one favor I'm giving you the whole year.
So I feel like it was a big homie move.
Yeah.
I just wonder, though, if there's more endorsement deals out there. I wonder if there
There's
are.
gotta be, right?
You know what? Why don't we ask Bet365 Never Ordinary Top 5? Why don't we make it our Never Ordinary Top 5? Top 5 companies or products Nikola Jokic might endorse
These
next.
are the top 5 companies that he should do endorsement deals.
These are the
Totally
next
should.
5 commercials.
Natural fits, you might say.
They're natural fits. There's places that should already be reaching out to Nikola Jokic
Maybe they have.
/ Peyton Watson's agency if they haven't already.
I know.
Cam,
I know one of these companies already has.
You do.
I do.
Well, all right, Kale. No further ado. Number 5. Chips Ahoy, dude.
Oh,
For the Cookie
Cookie
Monster.
Monster.
The Cookie Monster. Who better than the Cookie Monster to
Oh,
sing
man,
the
so
praises
true.
of delicious cookie? And can you imagine if he actually ate them like the Cookie Monster? He just like shoved them in his mouth and chewed them without swallowing, and they just like.
Did Chips Ahoy make commercials, though? Because I don't know if I've ever seen one.
Chips Ahoy is so baked into the social fabric that is the
That's
United
so
States.
true.
They don't
They
have to
need it.
advertise, but
But
Chips
if
Ahoy
they did,
But Chips Ahoy, it's never too late to get bigger.
I would never eat another cookie in my life.
Number 4,
Be my only
Kale,
cookie.
is Coca-Cola.
How is this number 4? Because he doesn't drink it?
Yeah, because he actually swore off it, and he cited it as hindrance in his career.
Yeah, it
and
was like the least healthy thing. His life took off once he quit taking it.
It was the thing he had to cut out to become who he is today.
You know
All
what,
the
though?
same,
Doesn't matter.
Name recognition is name recognition. I'd love to see him drink 2 liters right in front of my eyes on TV, wouldn't you?
Yeah, who have been some like specialty drinks? Didn't Shaq have like a Shaq soda or something?
He's
for a
got the
while there?
Shaq-a-roni right now.
What's that?
It's a pepperoni pizza from Papa John's.
Of course he does.
Okay, all right, well, there you go.
Well, Shaq.
If there was a Jokic flavored Coca-Cola,
The wild thing for this is that if we did this for Shaquille O'Neal and there was no limit to the products, and it's and one of them is just a printer with a bunch of ink, which is something he's like all of. Shaq will
he'll
endorse
anything.
Yeah,
Shaq
he'll
will endorse
endorse
anything.
He's the best frontman, though. There's a reason for it. He's very good at it.
Listen, man.
He's like the Flex Seal guy, man. That's how good he is.
He is that good. Kale, number 3, Polo.
Horsepower.
Horsepower.
Yeah, a little horseman.
My man has style. He has grace. He's been dressing the part. And I don't know if you guys knew this. He loves horses.
He does love
I'm
horses.
thinking about how the horse from the Hotels.com commercial needs to be a reoccurring character
First off,
in all these commercials.
it was a pony. That was
Yeah,
part of the ad. Not a horse. A pony.
Pony. Sorry.
Or maybe we should have had him endorse pony.
You know, was it a pony?
It was a little.
I think it's just a short horse. But is there a difference between a pony? Isn't a pony just a baby?
No, that baby horse is like a foal.
But
a
that's
pony
not
is a different.
That's not a baby
A
horse.
mule and a pony are different than a horse.
Really?
Yes.
See, I know wolves. I don't know ponies.
How well do you know wolves?
No, we read.
Kale,
We
number
read
two,
yesterday. We
I think
reintroduced
technically
them.
it's probably a miniature horse.
There you
Number
go.
2, Taco Bell.
This
Big
one.
upset. I know.
Bro,
Everybody
he-
thinks Taco Bell should be number 1. Taco Bell. Jokic has already done a commercial for Taco Bell that airs
the greatest
organically
Taco Bell.
every
The
season.
best marketing Taco Bell's ever gotten.
The greatest thing, yes, this comes up all the time. People go and they buy the quesarito. It's in the menu. It's out of the menu. It's celebrated when it's returned. It's known the world round as the official Jokic meal that he's got no money for. Jokic, do a Taco Bell commercial.
Don't Taco Bell do a Jokic commercial. This is like they're sitting on a gold mine. They would overtake McDonald's,
Yeah.
Subway.
Do you
Subway.
think they would just reenact the draft night?
Doesn't matter what they did. Him being there,
That's exactly
it
what they would
doesn't
do.
matter.
That's exactly what they would
Yeah.
do. They would cut to him and he would be eating it while,
While the draft is happening,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, "What?"
And number 1, he should do it for DNVR.
Let's go. Come on, Jokic.
Come on, Jokic.
Come on, man.
Do DNVR.
Pick your
commercial.
I
product
promise
nicely,
there'd be a
dude.
miniature horse here.
There
Oh,
would.
if we need to get a horse for Jokic to endorse this, we will get a miniature
We'll
horse.
get a pony. We'll get a Shetland. We'll get a mule.
anything.
Any of them.
I'll,
Bring
I would
Please.
get a wolf if we have to. All right, that does it. Let's take a break. On the other side, we are going to talk about Aaron Gordon's comments last night that Reggie Jackson, he's probably the favorite right now for Sixth Man of the Year. Does he have a case?
Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. Stop into the DNVR bar this month. We've got $6 Christmas sales all month long here at the DNVR bar. The beer of the month.
You can buy one mini keg of it and watch Harrison drink it in front of you. The whole thing.
You could. You can also check out some of our other favorites: the Avalanche Amber, Mile High City, Broncos Country Pale Ale, Funslinger. All your favorites here at the DNVR bar. If you don't know where to get Breck Brew, check out their beer locator, breckbrew.com. Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. Also, Hestra gloves. If you're looking for a glove for just year-round work, do-it-yourself projects, gardening, construction, landscaping, any of that type of stuff, don't tear up your ski gloves or whatever other gloves you have. You need a work glove that's going to last a long time, that's made from high-quality materials, and that's what Hestra gloves are. Great fitting, comfortable. They've been making gloves for over 85 years. These guys know what they're doing. Visit hestrajob.us. Use the code DNVR40 to get 40% off your next purchase now through December 23rd. Only a couple more days to take advantage of this. DNVR40, 40% off your next purchase now through December 23rd.
Let's go.
All right, we are back here. Let's talk about Reggie Jackson. Guys, if I were to ask you who's averaging more points this season, Reggie Jackson or Aaron Gordon, who would you guess?
I guess,
Based on the fact that I'm asking this question.
I mean, it's clearly Reggie Jackson, but that is wild.
But you would think Aaron Gordon.
But Aaron Gordon's not had a great start to the season.
If I asked you who is shooting better from three this year, Reggie Jackson or KCP?
Wow. Reggie Jackson.
Actually, the same.
Trick question.
Trick question. Nega's never going to get it. But 41%, 40.7%. Both of them somehow 40.7%, which is very strange. Very, very, very strange. So, Reggie Jackson, man, if we look back at his career, he's averaging 13.6. That's the most since that 21-22 season where he went off. But more to the point, if you go per 36 minutes, because he's playing reduced minutes this year from back then, he's averaging 19 points per 36 minutes. That is on par with his prime seasons. Like all of his, basically, if you just cut off his most prime seasons, he was at about 19 points per 36. So on a per minute basis, he is playing in his absolute apex prime. But one small difference, most efficient season of his career. Think about that.
It's wild.
He's scoring at the same rate that he did at his actual apex, but more efficiently. That alone, before we get into any other context, is incredible.
Yeah.
And part of that you might think is because he played a lot with the starters. And that's definitely part of it.
Less than half of his games.
Yeah. But I mean, last night, he goes for 20 points on 9 of 12 shooting, playing exclusively with the bench.
Right.
And like the fact that he's putting these numbers up, playing next to not a ton of spacing. I mean, Julian Strother's the only shooter on that second unit. Not a lot of offensive first players. He's got Christian Brown and Peyton Watson next to him, two defensive first players. And really didn't start playing with a true pick and roll partner until Michael Malone put DeAndre Jordan into the rotation. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, consider this, like, playing arguably his best after he was completely discarded, thrown into the garbage can by the Clippers, like part of the buyout market, like not even attempting to trade him. They were just like, there's no value here. You know,
right.
Like the buyout market is where you go when you just like throw your hands up in the air. Yep. We can't even get a trade for this guy. It's just, we just have to move on. And to say, I mean, you look at him as a reclamation project. I mean, he's like, it's incredible. Like, this is a guy you would trade for. Like, you're looking to shore up your bench. You're like, we need a reliable ball handler on the bench. Coming into the season, we were all very nervous about that. I mean, what?
Why be nervous? He's doing incredible.
It's like, there's just so many things that the Nuggets are and have in this world that we live in, that things just like keep working out for them. It's like, this is just another story. It's awesome. I love it.
I'm trying to look at some regular season awards here so I can get to the Sixth Man of the Year I'm trying to look and see because I think Austin Reeves is a guy that is in
Shocker.
this one.
Oh, that's cool. Sixth man of the in-season tournament.
Sixth man of the year of the seasons. Yeah. Here, you can look at these here and kind of walk me through. So we have Austin Reeves to compare him to. Who else? Tim Hardaway Jr.
Tim Hardaway Jr.
Because it's always the guys that score, right? It's always like score. But Reggie scores, so he kind of fits the mold here.
I watched,
by the way,
I
Austin
watched Tim
Reeves-
Hardaway shoot 3 of 12 last night.
15
Wasn't that impressed.
15 points,
Bro.
5 assists for him. By the way, 36% shooting.
Reggie Jackson is like 20th on this list.
I wonder why.
It goes Austin Reeves, Tim Hardaway Jr., Cole
We saw
Anthony.
him last night. How did he look?
So good. Like he looked like the 8th or the 12th man
Seth
of the year.
Curry on there.
12th man of the year.
37% from 3 for him. 17 points per game, which is a lot of points. But
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Cole Anthony, Emmanuel Quickly, Malik Monk.
Cole
These
Anthony,
are just
by the way,
all the same player.
it is
is.
always the same. Yeah, it's so true. But Reggie
It's
is
a
that
two
player.
guard that's a shooter.
But isn't that kind of Reggie too? By the way, Cole Anthony, 15 points a game. He's the same as right there with Reggie.
Dude, people that are above Reggie Jackson, Chris Paul.
Chris Paul.
Yes,
Well,
Isaiah,
I mean, because
Isaiah
they're
Joe.
doing so well. That's why.
They're going to amnesty.
And
that
Isaiah
dude.
Joe's ahead of Reggie Jackson.
Jaime Jaquez. This will get you
Well,
excited.
I mean, they get a couple of these right.
Nas Reed.
Nas Reed's been pretty good. I gotta
just-
get, but I
A
mean,
big man has never won 6
wow,
man of the
that
year.
would be actually be really
Bobby
strange.
Portis.
He hasn't had a great year.
Tell that to the NBA futures on.
Bobby
Bet
Portis was like
365.
furious about his role for a while there.
Yeah, and then Reggie Jackson comes in under Jonathan Kuminga,
Under Jonathan Kuminga?
under Buddy Hield. Reggie Jackson. I mean, I guess to be fair, I think that might be alphabetical. They have the same. They have the same
Okay.
odds at.
Either way,
at
You've
plus
got to think that these odds
150.
haven't changed a ton from the very beginning of the season.
Dude, it's plus 150 or 15,000 right now. Plus 15,000.
Reggie Jackson has been absolutely incredible, man. He has been incredible.
Oh,
And
you know
he's
who's
doing
above,
it
though?
for one of the
Who?
best teams in the league.
Rui Hachimura, dude.
Well, it's because he's the 7th
Does
man,
every
and-
Laker
Yeah.
just get on the list?
Yeah, where's
Yes.
Christian Wood on there? He's not even playing, but is he? How high is he?
Well, Christian Brown made the list.
Is he?
Plus 30,000. He's the last person mentioned.
Well, there you go. In all sincerity, I think that look, we gotta let's single-handedly try to move these odds. Not single-handedly. He's doing this, but nobody's talking about it.
We single-handedly got Bones Highland on the all rookie
Bones.
All rookie Bones. 6-man Reggie. Let's think of this hashtag. It's 6-man Reggie.
How about hashtag bench Reggie?
Oh,
I don't think
How
so.
about that? Bench Reggie. We all scream it all game when he's on the
Bench
court.
Yeah, dude.
Bench Reggie.
it's the Reggie in the bench. Bench Reggie for sure. Yeah.
In all sincerity, though, man, I'm looking at this and like, will he win? It always goes to whoever's the sauciest scorer. But Reggie is a
Dude,
pretty
he's-
saucy scorer,
He's
man.
been exquisitely saucy.
And Reggie Jackson also has enough name recognition to get in the conversation.
Right.
But he doesn't have a team name recognition to get him over the top.
All right. We're going to get this up. It's 6th man Reggie or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what can
We'll
it be?
figure it out. We got to find out a really good one. Reggie's back, son.
Reggie 6.
Reggie 6?
Well, because you just want to like type it quickly. It's got to be short, concise.
Bailout 6. Big government
big-
6.
Yeah. There can't be like 6 levels of reference in a hashtag.
That needs to be a very clean hashtag.
I think we're storming
Big
the
government,
yeah. Storming the
What about
Capitol or something.
Storm big government on the 6th. Or for the 6th.
Thank God his
There
number.
it is. We got it.
Thank God his number is
Put it out
7.
there,
That's
man.
all I'll say. Thank God he wears number 7.
His tweet thread. Eric's just furious. Reggie needs more recognition. Second tweet. We need more attention. Storm the government on 6. Reggie Jackson deserves. I honestly think that he needs to move up in these rankings. D-Line and I were having a very interesting debate last night or earlier today. He thinks that Jokic does not deserve to be in the MVP conversation.
Oh, listen. You can't. If you're gonna state my allow me to state my own.
That's what I heard.
I don't think he's leading the MVP. I don't think
think he's leading it
Well,
either.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think Jokic is currently the MVP, is what I said.
But that's different because I understand that to be, I think, the case. Like Embiid, unfortunately, played the Wizards a few times. And
I don't think
now
Jokic
he's
is
there.
currently the MVP. I don't
But
think he
you
wants
were
to
saying
be.
he didn't deserve like recognition for it because to me,
No,
Jokic,
I did not.
I thought you were saying like he just shouldn't be in the conversation. Like you don't want him there.
No, of course not. I'm just saying he's not the MVP. Like there are years where it's like I will get on my pony and I will ride into battle and I will let everyone know how stupid they are for not
Miniature horse.
recognizing the greatness that is Jokic, the dominance that is Jokic, all of which are still true. It's just like this year, it's at this early stage, obviously, which again, we have to talk about this end of season award all goddamn year long. He's not positioning himself to win the MVP currently. I believe very strongly, as I always do, that he doesn't want it.
I don't think he cares. Last year he didn't want it. I don't know if he doesn't. Do you think he doesn't want it or he doesn't
No,
care?
I don't think he's trying to tank it, but I think he's not.
right.
I don't think he's going for it.
Right.
In the way that, say, Joel Embiid is going for it.
But can I tell you something though? And this is the paradox of the MVP. This is why he's the MVP. Honestly, in large part, like they won, they had an almost perfect offensive rating last game, and as a result, he's like, "Oh, they're doubling me in the post. Get off of it." I think that Jokic has bigger goals than MVP, and most nights, though not as many recently, but most nights he also is just putting up MVP numbers, not because he's trying to do it, but just because that's a byproduct of what he does. So to me, I look at this and I go, the fact that, again, we're going to become real petty on this one because Embiid is earned, in my opinion, to be in pole position with the numbers he's putting up.
I heard the straw poll's coming out soon.
Oh,
Straw poll
God,
is
dude.
coming out. I have
Dude,
cast
if
my
Julian's
vote.
not on the straw poll, I'm going to fucking lose my mind.
That'd be pretty funny.
You should write in a bullshit candidate.
But to me, like, it's not a coincidence that Embiid uses those games to prop up his numbers rather than like say, let's see if we can get somebody confidence over here or try to get this or that. Because you watch Jokic and you just see it's clearly different. Last night they're up by 30 points. Is Jokic out there going like, all right, let me go get a couple more assists and rebounds and do this? Like, absolutely not. He's like, man, this is great for our guys. And that's why I say in aggregate, Jokic's on a really rough little like 7-day stretch or something like that. But to me, he's been an MVP for all but that. And yes, I'm with you that he's not gunning for it, but like this little blip, he's going to be right back in pole position, in my opinion, by mid-January.
Probably.
Because I don't think he's running from it the way.
Well, he's also like about to go on the cupcake tour that Joel Embiid just enjoyed.
Well, you got to be in the Eastern Conference
if you look
for
at
that,
the, if
dude.
you
Yeah, I
look
was
at the
going to say, you
schedule,
might have to.
If you look at the schedule, like the Nuggets could legitimately have a 14-game winning streak here.
If they hadn't blown that one.
No, coming up.
Oh,
if they
even
hadn't
more.
blown it, they could have like an 18 or 20-game winning streak. Like, they have like real.
Road's always tough. Canada's always tough, you know.
Just ask Miles Bridges. He wouldn't know. It's not allowed.
He wasn't allowed into Toronto. Good point. Wow, you made that a little darker than I expected.
We talked about it last night.
Do you think, Win, that he's going to climb back in the MVP ranking?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look at the advanced numbers, he's leading the league in win shares, offensive box plus minus, defensive box plus minus,
Naturally.
BPM and VORP. I mean, like he always does. Yeah, I kind of hate saying that, but
Vorps and your schnorps. And that's
Dude,
exactly what
Vorp
he
has
says.
done so much more harm than good in this world.
yeah. But I mean,
Nobody ever cites Vorp, though, if we're being
No,
honest.
I mean,
They-
you know,
they
you know
cite
who's
it, but
top
they use it
five
as
in it
an
though?
insult.
Jokic, Embiid, SGA, Doncic, LeBron. I mean,
Love
it's a
Vorp.
good stat.
Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah.
I love how everybody's always like, it's always wrong about one guy. Those other guys are
LeBron.
right. Those guys are right, but
Yeah, it's LeBron.
I don't know.
But I mean,
LeBron
just
won that tournament. That
just a
thing
couple
that they
weeks
did,
ago,
remember?
just a
Impressive.
couple weeks ago, Nikola Jokic was leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists.
Right? That's right. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
what, 2
Everybody
weeks
has
ago?
the memory of a goldfish because this just happened.
No, I know.
It just happened. It's also like all the tweets coming in
Also,
from the writers.
nobody talked about that.
They did too.
No.
A little bit. People love points, man.
Did they
just
have a
love-
segment on NBA Today about that? No. Did anybody on ESPN talk about that? No.
I wouldn't know. I don't watch those
I
programs.
will say that I saw lots of tweets, like you said, 7, 8, 9 days ago that were like, should we just shut the MVP race down now? Like, Jokic's won it, right? Can we just all fast forward and make this vote official? And then 7 days happened. Embiid played a couple games against Detroit and
Yeah.
Washington. And everyone's like, you know what? It's over. I'm just saying, Jokic's in a very interesting
definitely
moment right
not
now
over.
that also happens to correlate with our like excitement for the bench unit.
He's
and-
probably a little excited too.
and I think he's probably a little excited too. And all of this stuff, like if Jokic has 4 good games in a row against, let's say, Washington and Detroit, people are going to be like, you know who's the clear MVP?
Oh, totally.
You know who it
this
is.
I mean, this is how it works.
Although
Last
Jokic
year,
never does that against those teams.
Jokic was in pole position the whole year until some very unfortunate talking points came out, and then everything flipped. Like this terrible worm that travels through the NBA, which is the MVP conversation. It should be an up and down race the entire time. I'm just saying, like, if it were to end today and Jokic did not win the MVP, I wouldn't vote for him right now. Like, I do believe in my heart he is the most valuable player in the National Basketball Association, not only this year, but every year he laces them up. Like, he just plays in a way that is like, you can't truly poke holes in it. The only thing is that, like, he doesn't do the extra, and the MVP is about extra. It's like an extra award.
So Jokic didn't get it last year, and I get to count that one. If you talk to people that are like, and we all know he probably should have won last year, right? If you don't get it this year, then go on to win another title, and if Embiid, whatever, has his same thing. You know what? Jokic gets 4 MVPs the way Michael Jordan has 7 or 8, right? I'm being serious. Like LeBron has 7 or 8 because you just start to add these extra ones where, like, he didn't get it, but people were tired of this. If Jokic wins a title this year while not winning the MVP, and it'll be a thing like 20 years from now where, like, he could have won 7 or 8.
Yeah.
The number just inflates bigger and bigger. So part of me is rooting for. Part of me, I mean, I'd love for him to win it.
I just
part
want
of
him
me
to win,
goes,
but he's not. I don't think.
Part of me would love the, like, righteous indignation of being like, he probably should have 4 in a row.
Yeah, that would be nice, but it'd be better if he just won it.
He just won it outright and then won again.
I'm famously the only person on this show that cares about the MVP anymore.
You do?
I do.
Why?
Why? Because it's legacy. It's history, man.
Oh,
like,
man.
Imagine if Nikola Jokic had won 3 straight
But do you
MVPs heading
care-
into this season.
But
And
do
he's
you
on his
care
way to
about
4,
it every day?
Imagine that.
But do you care about it? I
no,
don't care.
but I care about
the,
him winning the award. Absolutely.
I care about the MVP. I do not care about the MVP discussion, which is very different.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, yeah, of course. But I care a lot about the MVP.
All right, let's take a last break here, and then on the other side, we are going to get to the latest. The Wolves have been released into the wild on the Western Slope. I don't know if you guys followed
God.
this. Oh, wait, that's not the note I have. Oh, the Timberwolves. Timberwolves won against Miami last night.
This is like the 5th Wolf conversation you've already
well, I
woven
have
into
Wolves
the show.
on here. Don't forget to talk about the Wolves.
No, I
didn't
know,
what
but you
meant.
got the Wolves, the Timberwolves, Wolves
Yeah.
early. It's just a lot of Wolf talk.
There's a lot of Wolf, man.
When you get
Welcome to
hurt,
Wolf
Backs
Talk.
and Shankers here to help. They win for Cardo families. They've been doing so for more than 25 years. And you don't pay them any money until they win your case. No upfront fees, no fees while they work on your case. You only pay them money if they win your case. And they've won over $1 billion for their clients. They've got neighborhood offices in Denver, Aurora, Englewood, Fort Collins. They've got the strength and power to win your case.
Like a wolf.
30 lawyers, 100 staff members. They help with all kinds of injury cases where you were not at fault. Car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks. They can even help you if you're injured at work. Give them a call, 222-2222, to find out if you have a case for free. Backus and Shanker wins. Also, shout out to our friends over at Red Hawk Roofing. Denver's best roofers are on the DNVR team. If you need roofing done on your house, your business, Red Hawk Roofing is who you need to call. They've got decades of experience, quality materials.
I'm telling you, this is so great. You guys have no idea how clutch it is in life to have a reliable, like, construction companies. If anybody's ever gone through a bad construction thing, like, if you, because you just fight, I don't know, I don't have a recommendation here. I go through it and it's like, oh my God, I paid so much money to the worst people. Now you got a friend in roofing.
You do. It's Red Hawk Roofing, Colorado's best estimators and contractors. Call these guys up with any roofing needs if you're looking for a new roof over your home or business. Check out redhawkroofing.com, redhawkroofing.com. Tell them DNVR sent you.
Tell them that. All right. In all sincerity, though, can we spend like 1 minute on this thing with the Wolves?
About the Timberwolves or the Western?
No, we're going to spend a lot on the Timberwolves, but no, did you not see that they
I did. They
finally
released.
released
I
them?
saw the release Wolves into the Western Slope.
So, as I told you guys the story, I'm curious if there are people now documenting and trying. I know they're radio callers
Curious
and stuff.
Mares.
But Wolves are kind of interesting, and I know this was a very controversial to my people on the Western Slope who maybe were against this. My rancher friends, my
Didn't we
landowning
vote
friends.
on this like
Yes.
4 years ago or something?
It's the dumbest thing we've ever put on a ballot. I don't understand. Like, I'm very pro-democracy. You guys know that. I'm very
Yeah.
pro. But there are some things you shouldn't put in the
Like,
hand
we
of the
should
people.
not have that responsibility of deciding that
Absolutely
issue.
Really, like,
ridiculous.
the people on the Western Slope should vote whether or not they release lowland gorillas into
Like, I don't
Denver.
care how much research I do into that ballot measure. I cannot be educated enough to make a decision on that.
But you were yes. You were like, that
Should-
sounds
yeah.
I
freaking
actually don't think I
awesome.
Yeah.
voted. I think I abstained from
Should
that one.
tigers roam Denver? They're like, that sounds awesome.
That sounds so
Yes.
cool. Of course we shouldn't have tigers
Yeah.
around. Anyway, I'm kind of curious to see the project. Wolves are just, as I've talked before, so fascinating. But the Timberwolves also fascinating because they go down to Miami last night. Remember we talked about now things get real for the Timberwolves. They've been skating through this easy schedule. Now things get real. Well, early returns, very good. Last night, they didn't just win in Miami. They came back from 17 down. They beat their last couple games here. At New Orleans, they take an L. At Dallas, they get a blowout win, same like the Nuggets. At Indiana, they get a comfortable win. And then Miami, they get a comfortable win. This is a team, man, that when I watch them play, they play with excitement. There's
Yeah.
momentum. They have some magic to them. You know what I mean? Where like everybody kind of has this belief. And then most of all, their defense is insane. Do you guys know Nickeil Alexander-Walker is part of 2 of the top 5 best defensive pick and roll duos in the NBA with both
I
Gobert
did not
and
know
with
that.
Karl
I
Towns.
did not know that either.
According to Second Spectrum. Remember how tough he was in the playoffs last year, in part because you just can't screen him. He's so skinny and he's so good and so long.
Yeah.
And then you have Jaden McDaniels, you got Gobert, you've got so many good players, defensive players in particular. I am ready to go ahead and say I think the Timberwolves belong in the top tier. They're unproven, so they are the new guys. They're not allowed full access in the top tier. They need to be respectful. But to me, I look at them and I go, this is not a Sacramento Kings situation of last year. This team's actually good. This team actually can win in the playoffs and do different things because of how they're built. And they shut everyone down.
Yeah, they should be in the top tier. They deserve to be. They kind of have some Nuggets vibes from last season in terms of they had a lot of injuries, a lot of just lineup flux
general
last
manager.
year. And
Same general
now
manager.
they have everybody on the same page and everybody healthy, and it just kind of came together exactly. Well, I don't know exactly how they envisioned because I don't know if they really had a good sense of what it was going to look like, but it came together as best as it could.
I hate this.
And
I hate that they're good.
Yeah, they're good. They're really
I
good.
hate that they're good, and I hate that everyone in Minnesota was already out on Tim Connolly last year. They were like so mad about it, and they don't deserve this. You don't deserve this, anyone in Minnesota. We heard what you said. We heard that you already wrote the man off. And also just A-Rod. Why does A-Rod get more good things in life?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
That
Like-
did ruin it.
I'm saying, Tim Connolly, one of my favorite guys ever, and he just keeps doing a really good job. The team, made no sense when he made that trade, and now it makes a ton of sense. I don't know how that worked.
It is hilarious too that in Denver he built this offensive juggernaut, and then he went there and built a defensive juggernaut. It's actually pretty hilarious. I do love a lot of their players though, man. They just have so many guys. When I'm watching them, I'm like, man, I like how he plays. So to me, I look at it and I go, and of course they are a tough matchup for Denver. I don't know if I'm quite ready to declare this, but I will say, last year, the Nuggets were on a collision course with the Lakers, and you could kind of see it coming, and you're like, oh my God, it has to be this way, right? It has to be. We have to go through the Lakers if we're going to do it. I kind of feel early vibes of Nuggets and Timberwolves are on a collision course. Tim Conley and Tim Conley's old team are on a collision course. Jokic and
we did that
Gobert.
last year. That's old stuff. We vanquished them last year.
No,
But
but
they
they're
weren't ready yet.
recharged and reloaded.
That was they weren't. I mean, they didn't have Nas Reed, first of all, who's a
They
huge
didn't
part,
have
sixth
Jaden
man of the year.
McDaniels.
Sixth man of the year,
And they
Nas
didn't have
Reed.
Jaden McDaniels, who's their best perimeter defender. So I'm telling you, you add him back to the mix, and then you watch
Hopefully he
going into Miami and winning, coming back from 17 down the way that they did, man, is really impressive. So I look at them and I go, I think there are 2 reputable teams in the Western Conference, just 2. And there's a bunch of teams that are trying to pretend they are on paper. Maybe
There's
they are.
3 in the NBA.
Who are the Boston Celtics?
It's the Celtics, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and then I
Not
guess
the
there's-
Bucks? Not the
I will
76ers?
get the 76ers are. I think that
Not the
they're-
Bucks?
I don't believe in the Bucks.
Why?
I just don't think. I think that there are too many holes. I really just think that at the end of the day, Giannis is too easily schemed against, and I don't know. I just that he and Dame are like not a perfect pairing when the going gets tough.
Is it that he ran into the locker trying to get the ball and it was so corny that you were like, you know
That was
what?
so terrible.
That
really was.
Did you see how he
Him, like,
got the
being held
game ball
back.
the next game too?
He
how
wanted
many
that one
how
too?
many game balls does this guy need?
It begs the question: is Giannis vain?
Or is he starting like a league for kids and he needs sporting equipment? You know what I mean?
So lame, man. I
lame.
think the Bucks are legit, even though I agree with you that I think that they are like more vulnerable than people look. But man, they're dominant at the things they're dominant at. And I'm with you that I think the 76ers are
They're legit.
well, they did just lose to the Bulls last night. I don't know if you saw this. By the way, did you guys see the clip that I told you?
No.
Down 2 against the Bulls.
Oh, yeah.
Embiid gets the ball right in front of the rim. Easy little floater or pivot and score. Instead, he tries to do the rip through move to get a foul.
I mean, why
there's
wouldn't he?
10
Gets the call
seconds
every
left in the
time.
game. Just score a layup. It's a wide open layup.
Adam,
Dude,
It was
NBA
Kobe
players
White.
are so brain dead that they just revert to that.
Except for any that want to come in this show. We love your thoughts.
Well, except for the Nuggets. Like, the Nuggets are the only good,
Of course, naturally.
ethical people in the NBA.
It's
Natural.
But NBA players' minds are so melted to just grift calls
I know,
that they
the
just do
grifting.
that off of pure reaction,
I know.
off of pure instinct.
It was muscle memory that he
Totally.
I would
throws
love-
it. You're like, dude, what?
You know what they need to do is just like in the preseason or an exhibition game, just play one NBA game where they don't call any. It's just known there's no fouls called. I mean, outside of like an actual
Beverly's the Michael
an
Jordan
actual
of the
crime,
league.
but like I just
Dylan Brooks
or there's
just
something where it's
dominates.
like it's you. There's just something where it's like there's no foul shots where you don't. It doesn't like benefit an individual player. Like if you get fouled, the possession starts over. So I don't know something, but I'm just like I would love to see what that would look like.
Anyway, I do agree with you though. And by the way, tomorrow night, Minnesota Timberwolves at Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, wow.
That's a real time. I mean, I'm curious to see if Embiid plays first and foremost
He
that's
will not.
The hamstring's bothering him, I heard.
because that is a tough front court to go up against, and maybe he dominates, and then you can really tip your hat to him, or maybe he plays poorly, and you could be like, bury him. Kind of interesting. All right, that does it for our show today. Hit that outro music, Kale. I thought it was a good one. A little off day. It was kind of fun.
Great show.
I didn't like it that much,
Nuggets in Toronto. They start the 3-game road trip
How are they on the road again, man?
bro.
on the road.
They're like
again.
me.
They are like you. But in Toronto, always a tough place to play, and that's a team that I think is actually just tough for Denver. They remind me of Oklahoma City with the length, only they have a real center in Jakob Poeltl. They have Brooklyn and then Charlotte to get this little 3-game road trip before heading home for a 4-game homestand. So this is a nice one. Michael Malone last night, he always goes to this one. You notice when Michael Malone addresses the team, he goes extra Brooklyn. Hey guys, you guys play defense out there. We're going on a business trip. All right, we're going on a business trip. That's a good Michael Malone, wasn't that? That's pretty good. Locker room
I was
Michael
like, are we playing a clip?
Malone. Going on a business trip, all right, buddy.
Family on three.
What's happening? What's the matter with you? Huh?
It wasn't mad at you. He's not Italian. Just FYI.
He's not, but he speaks like he is.
They are
everybody-
going to Brooklyn this road trip, though.
He's getting ready. Maybe that's what it was. He's getting access back. Hit that like button for us on the way out.
We all silly like the mayor.